Good day to you.
Good morning, Father.
A remarkable year for butterflies. One would hardly believe it. But just today in this very spot, I saw Vanessa Atlanta. It eluded me, of course. Most things do. Admiring our castle Ornstein.
Who lives in it?
Alas, who can afford to live in their castles anymore? The Countess Ornstein is at the Dower House now, and she can hardly keep that up, poor lady. I remember the times before the war, when the Count was still alive. These are the bad new days. That's what I call them, the bad new days.
When I was a little boy, my grandmother bought me a picture book. In it was a castle, just like that. I used to lie under the kitchen table with a hunk of bread and goose fat and look at the castle.
Dreaming, it was all yours, I expect. A child's dream. Just passing through?
I was. But maybe I'll stay, if I can find work.
I see, work shouldn't be too hard. Oh, dear! There it's again! There it is again! Oh. Ah! For me, 30 years. Over 30 years. I've been waiting for Vanessa Atalanta.
Just wait long enough and things come.
What luck.
That's a secret, Father. Just wait long enough.
How I long to see the mayor's face.
Once upon a time, a young prince approached a castle where lived a beautiful young princess. Her mother, a cruel and powerful queen. The princess and her brother were prisoners in the wicked queen's castle.
Oh, you don't have to pay till you leave.
Never trust strangers.
My horoscope today says, strangers will bring you luck. Capricorn. What are you?
Capricorn?
Well,
Maybe strangers will bring me luck, too.
why not?
I suppose all the people in Ornstein here work for the Countess.
Are you joking? What would she pay them with? They are not all as stupid as Rudolph.
Rudolph?
The Countess is footman. Just give him a shilling or two for a beer and he's happy. Where are you going?
Nowhere. Nice dogs you've got.
Just put your hand down to pick up your beer and... Splendor.
Let me see.
Hey, my friend. Let me buy us a beer. No, better not. Stick to 1 in the morning. That's my law. Know why I need my beer in the morning? I go into the butcher. What's the cheapest cut of meat today for the Countess Ornstein? To the greengrocer. Oh, no, strawberries is too high for the Countess Ornstein. That's humiliating to my pride. Now, look at this. Know how old it is? 20, 30 years, I say. How would it make you feel walking around in this, huh? But does she care? She doesn't even notice, huh? Sitting around like nothing changes. Styles, fashions, nothing. Museum. That's where she belongs, my friend. Well, I'm off.
Back to work?
Thursdays? Polishing the silver, dusting the salon, washing the dishes because it's the boys' day off.
Maybe the Countess could use an extra man.
Come with me, my friend.
If they're so hard up, why don't they sell the castle?
Sell Castle Ornstein? You don't know about Castle Ornstein? This way. Ante. No one can sell that castle by law. It's for Ornsteins. Hundreds of years. It's got to be Ornstein. Hundreds of years, past, present, and the future to come. Smell the beer?
Not much.
It's the lozenges.
There's no more coffee.
I'll tell Klaus to bring some more. No. It's quiet, all right. No trouble at all.
Excuse me, madam, but this is Conrad. He wonders if you could take him on, helping me out with this, and I can do with it.
Come here. Do I know you or your father or any of your family?
No, madam. I'm new here.
And you want to work for me?
Rudolph says you are understaffed, and since that is my line of work...
I see.
Your coffee, madam.
Rudolph appears to need an assistant. He has brought this young man. He seems suitable.
I see, madam. You have, of course, found his references satisfactory.
I'm sorry, but where I slept last night, somebody stole my money and my papers.
It's just that I met him in the village, and he said he wanted work.
You should have told him there are no openings here. It was kind of you to consider helping this young man, madam. But I'm sure you understand.
Hertha, my darling, the mayor just called. He begged me to plead with you once more about Wednesday.
He knows I never do those things anymore.
Of course, but he's hoping, since the auditorium will be dedicated to the memory of Heine.
I do not need to open a municipal auditorium to be reminded of my husband. There isn't a moment of the day. Not a moment of the day.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I could have told you it wouldn't work. We're far too poor to hire anyone new. Every now and then, Mother gets delusions of vanished grandeur, but Clausen brings her down to earth. Father made him promise to take care of us on his deathbed, you know. I heard when I peeked around the door. I heard the death rattle, too. I was only 6 at the time, but you remember those things. Where do you come from?
Nowhere in particular?
How lucky you are. We come from everywhere in particular. Before the war, it seems, we owned half Europe. But look at us now. From everywhere to nowhere. Quitter and Quintus approve of you. They only approve of murderers and perverts. Which are you?
Both.
I knew it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello. You're back.
Sehr Menzel. How much are the cheapest seats?
Standing room in the gallery, 2 marks.
Just half over, isn't it?
Straight back to the hotel, Carl. If we're going to Innsbruck and back again tomorrow, we'll have to make another early start.
That's a beautiful car you've got.
Still as good as the day I bought her.
They don't make cars like that anymore. I've been around cars, I know.
No one appreciates quality these days. Do you think my fares notice it? No. To them, this is just any old crate. Not to me, though.
Ah, you're so right. Well, good luck to you.
Ah! Ah!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Good morning, sir. Carl hurt his hand. He asked me to drive for him today. I hope that's all right.
So much drunk. Anyone would think we're out to climb the Matterhorn. What's your name, driver?
Conrad, Fräulein.
Conrad.
Carl says it's to be the Innsbruck direction today, sir. Is that correct?
Correct. Panoramas, driver. That's what I want. Plenty of panoramas.
The poor driver must be starving.
Oh, nonsense. They always bring their own lunch.
Father, you are impossible.
Impossible, exactly. All my life I said, it's impossible, is it? All right. Here's where I roll up my sleeves. That's why you're sitting here drinking champagne today.
As you've pointed out more than once. For God's sake, not the caviar. Oh, that social consciousness. So shaming. Where on earth did you pick it up? That art school, I suppose. I thought you might be hungry, Conrad.
Thank you.
There's an extra rug in the car. You may as well be comfortable and eat in style. I recognized you right away. From the opera. Did Carl really hurt his hand? I thought perhaps you had arranged to take his place. I hope. If you knew what it's like with them. Their daughter. Nothing good enough for their daughter.
nobody good enough for their daughter. Keeping their daughter on ice for a duke or a prince. I could have a headache tomorrow. They could go driving without me.
Anneliese?
3 o'clock.
Anneliese!
Where?
I'll show you.
Driver! Here, driver! Now you're talking, Albrecht. Now my ears perk up. Don't yours, dear? Oh, driver, start clearing away.
I could probably pick one up for a song, too. Half these old families live with the pawnbroker.
A summer villa. Oh, that would be nice, with a park and stags, or whatever they are. And stables, of course. I'm determined to make a horsewoman out of Anneliese, even if it kills her.
Driver, do you happen to know of any decent places for sale around here?
Well, sir, there's the castle. Castle Ornstein.
Is it for sale?
I couldn't say, madam, but no one's living in it.
A castle? Why not? Why not go the whole hog? Well, no one can say that isn't a castle.
The little turn off to it is just ahead, sir. Beyond St. Sebastian.
Find out who owns it right away. It's got to be ours, and that's fine.
Here, driver.
Thank you, sir. I'll see Carl gets here.
For you?
Thank you very much, sir.
Anneliese?
In a moment, Father. There's something in my shoe. St. Sebastian, tomorrow at 3.
Hey, my friend. Working, I see, huh?
Just for the day.
It's my evening off. I'll buy you that beer.
I'll buy you a lot of beers. But I got to take the car back first. I'll meet you at the Weiße Hirsch.
Fine, my friend. Come on.
Go on, take one. Thank you.
My friend. That's a beautiful word, eh? Friend. Jesus, my friend. You, my friend.
Time to go. Come. I'll walk you home.
You just happened to be passing by.
That's right. And the dogs came running.
Prore celesti perfundam animam, tuam Deus Patre et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen.
It is hard to forgive him for dying. I was not intended to be left behind. I have no talent for it. One day, another day, without an echo of what it used to be. When your world has gone, you're your own ghost.
Ah, yes. Our world has indeed gone. These are the bad new days.
The days of the upstart, the American tourist and the plastic dirndl. They'll accept it. They'll become part of it. Children have no past.
Madam, I would like you and your family to know you have my sympathy.
You are?
Rudolph's friend, madam.
Oh, yes, of course.
Good morning, my son.
You know him, Father?
Indeed, we are good friends. And perhaps, since you will be needing a new man.
Why not? We can start right away.
Excuse me, madam. Would it be all right if I came up a little later? I have a few personal things I have to clear up first.
Of course. You must come to lunch tomorrow, Father. The mayor is coming and Princess Palomir. I thought I'd get both my crosses off at once.
Well, that was a stroke of luck for you, wasn't it? What are those personal things you have to clear up? I long to know. Something very dastardly, I bet.
I almost couldn't come. They were mad to go to the Countess Ornstein about the castle. But she can't see them until tomorrow. So they went driving anyway. I like you like this. A country boy. When can we be together again?
Soon?
Tomorrow?
Maybe.
Please.
If I can get away. I got a new job today. With the Countess Ornstein. I'm her footman now. Not a duke, not a prince, but a footman.
You're the new footman. Wait a minute. New footman, Friday, sir.
Take him up to his room.
Cook's room. Mine. This Claus's room. And now, yours. Klaus will be up. He'll want to talk to you. Watch out.
The Countess hired you. But I can have you thrown out of this house the moment I see fit. Is it clear?
It's clear.
I've worked for this family for over 20 years. The Count was like a father to me. I've made it my personal concern to see that no sort of harm comes to any of them. I don't know who you are, or where you come from, or what smart little ideas you may have in your head. But just be careful.
Why not?
I will serve dinner tonight. I'll run you through your regular duties tomorrow. I'm no fool, you know. I think you may find that out.
They reek of mothballs. Wherever you go, I'll be able to track you down like a bloodhound. There's dozens more. We used to have 30 footmen at the castle. I don't remember them, of course. That was before I was born, before that dreadful house painter went sea-kiling around causing doom. This. Do try them on. Don't mind me. I love seeing naked men. Not that I have much opportunity, of course. But I have been known to peep on my brother.
What would Klaus say?
Oh, Klaus. He's the bane of my existence. He's so virtuous. I love watching you.
You do?
You're thinking all the time, aren't you? I can see it behind those eyes. Click-ty-click. Click-ty-click. Working everything out. Shall I do it this way, or that way, or that way?
We should do. Ready?
She always says it on a tray in bed. The children take care of themselves.
And Klaus, do I take him a tray too?
Him? Take a tray to his room? Even the blessed Lord Jesus isn't allowed in his room.
Why not?
If Klaus wants his room private, that's his business. Please.
Her rose. She's always got to have her rose.
Yes?
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Conrad. It is Conrad, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. It's a beautiful sunny morning.
There are no strawberries. I particularly asked for them.
I'm sorry.
I suppose they're too expensive. How extraordinary to have to concern oneself about the price of strawberries. My husband always had our own flown in from Carinthia, Hungary, wherever they were the most perfect. Even the war never stopped the flow until, of course, those horrible weeks at the end.
Excuse me, madam. Your husband, a very handsome man.
There are no men anymore. Facsimiles, that's all. Facsimiles. Ah, well, a descendant of Attila the Hun and the widow of a descendant of Barbarossa should be able to survive without strawberries.
Will that be all, madam?
And that's all. Ah, yes, my sunglasses. I think I must have left them down on the dock.
Very well, madam. Good morning. Where's the dog? Your mother left her sunglasses there.
Beyond the terrace. Would you like me to show you?
Oh, that's all right. I'll find it. Come on in. Come on. You bastard!
You'll never guess what happened this morning. I had an offer to sell the castle from the most extraordinary couple from the city. To look at them, you would have taken them for a butcher and his wife, but the jewels on the woman and the checks with the outlandish sums offered. How can people be so rich these days?
Ex-Nazis, that's what they are. They can't fool me. Thank God. And if I may say so with due modesty, thank my own diligence, we have rooted them all out here at Ornstein.
Rooted? Rooted what?
Nazis, princess, Nazis.
When I explained to them about the entail, they didn't even know what an entail was. That places them. Finally, I said to them, my dear woman, you could offer me 10 billion American dollars, and there's nothing I can do. Entail is entail. One is forbidden to sell. I didn't add, of course, that I would die 1,000 deaths before I would let creatures like that so much as set foot in Castle Ornstein. You should have seen her when the truth finally seeped through. She literally wept with frustrated greed, great bubbles of tears dripping down her chin. It was hers.
Do they have a son?
Who, dear?
The couple from the city, do they have a son?
There is no reason, I presume, why they shouldn't be able to reproduce themselves.
If they had a son, I could marry him, and we could all live in the castle again on their money. And you'd be merely one of 30 footmen, Conrad dear. You could be my shoe polisher, my own individual, personal
shoe polisher. Really, darling, the one essential quality of a lady.
Being polite to the servants, I know.
Dear Father George, what can I do with this monstrous child?
One is hardly a child at 16.
I can't tell you what should be done with every ex-Nazi and every neo-Nazi in this country. They should be put up against the wall and shot.
Dear Mayor, let's not talk about the Nazis. They were boring enough when they were all over the place, strutting around, inviting themselves for dinner. One merely snubbed them, and that was that. Dear Father George, goodbye. You are doing very well. No one will need you till dinner if you still have things to clear up in the town.
Oh, thank you, madam. There's nothing important left to do. I would prefer to stay and get used to things here.
Very well. Bobby, dear, you must give me a massage. My back is killing me. It always happens when the mayor comes to lunch.
I mean, there's not much here. Just Mother and Lotte. Nothing ever happening. I would have thought you would get bored.
Any job is boring if you let it be.
Are you a sailor?
I've been a sailor. I've been a lot of things.
Have you been to Japan?
Japan? Well, why Japan?
I don't know.
I've been to Japan. They all take baths together. Men, women, and children. All naked, sitting there in the tub.
Imagine that here. Mother, Lotte.
And Klaus.
You are going to stay, aren't you?
Get out of this house.
Why?
You know and I know.
There wasn't anything. The boy just came up here and...
I will give you 10 minutes to pack.
But I told you...
I know what you told me. Out.
But where would I go at this time of night? Oh, give me until morning at least.
All right, tomorrow morning. But if I ever catch you near that boy again, I will turn you into the police before you can blink your eyes.
I would like to speak to the mayor.
The mayor is in conference.
Please. It won't take a minute. And it's very important.
Wait here. Come in.
You are the Countess's new footman. What can I do for you?
We have come to search your room.
Why?
I think you know.
But you have no right.
You speak of rights? That's laughable. Take us there. Open it.
My father. He fought on the Eastern Front for over 2 years. And then when the whole thing collapsed and everyone was scurrying to save their skins, he walked 800 miles all the way home for my mother and my little sister. The Russians shot him the very next day in front of their eyes. Is it so strange that I want to remember my father?
A Nazi.
Of course, he was a Nazi. Could a blacksmith have ever become a colonel in the regular army? I despise the Nazis for what they did to my country. But these pictures, I keep these pictures because my father was a... Why should I insult his memory by trying to explain? When he was worse, the whole lot of you put together.
This is you?
Yes.
A Hitler Junge.
How old do you think I was when the picture was taken?
Nazi newspapers. Völkischer Beobachter. Nazi victories.
My father's victory at Smolensk.
Nazi uniform.
His uniform. I swear to you on my Bible oath, this room is a shrine to my father. Only my father. And as for the Nazis...
You despise them for what they did to our country. I know. You think I'm an idiot? You think I haven't heard 1,000 lying stories like that in the past 20 years? Your father. There's your father. See, he packs his things and is out of here in an hour. Keep this from the Countess. Tell her he had to leave suddenly. Or think of something. It makes me sick. This taint, this infection our country. Still run after 20 years. All right. Collect your things.
Hello. We're spying on the kitchen. The mayor was here, wasn't he? And the chief of police, about Klaus. Mother doesn't know, does she? She thinks Klaus went away because his sister was sick. That's what you told her.
That's what the mayor told me to say.
You're lucky Mother's so vague. Or she'd have remembered that Klaus' sister married a GI and went to America. But we remember, don't we? We remember everything. I suppose you'll be taking over now.
Your mother's asked me to.
I'm going to like that much better. You'll let me come to meals with filthy nails and have crumbs in my bed, won't you? Off to the village, I suppose, for some dastardly rendezvous. On, footman! You are dismissed.
Mein Herz liegt voller Sehnsucht. Ich weiß ja, dass heute was passiert, doch was auch geschehen mag. Und mit mir warte ich auf die Tag, auf die Stunde der Seligkeit.
I thought it was better for them not to see us. You never know.
You never know.
How long do you have? I mean, how long can you stay?
Until 10.
Then, where? Mother and Father are at the hotel and I wouldn't dare.
Come on.
Where?
Hop on.
Mother said you had gone out.
I forgot my money.
I mean, Klaus, he didn't tell Mother, did he?
No.
I was scared you would be sent away.
I haven't been sent away.
Hello, darling.
I'm coming.
Better to let them stay.
Please listen to me. Listen. Please listen. Go away with me. Now. I've got enough money of my own, enough. We could buy a little house. A farm maybe for you. Or we could travel. We could go anywhere. And when we got bored...
And your parents?
Who cares about them? I hate them. I despise them. Can't you see how they use me for their dirty little social climbing? When I was born, they were penniless. We lived in a tenement. She cooked and washed and scrubbed the floor. She was a real person then, and... Oh, please, please, take me away.
If I ran away with you, the police would be after us before we'd gone a mile. There's nothing to get worried about. I'm here, aren't I? Tomorrow comes when it comes. Say, I love you.
I love you.
Now say, I'm a little rich girl who's crazy about a footman.
I'm a little rich girl who... Make it all right. Oh, please, make it all right for me.
Ready? You know the way back to the hotel? It's a long walk.
I didn't know you were back.
I just remembered I was supposed to lock the front door at night. I'd forgotten.
I've been waiting up for you because, well, there's something I've got to tell you about last night.
There's nothing to tell.
Please. You see, I mean, it isn't. I'm not. I was afraid that after last night you might have thought.
Didn't I say everything was all right? We're friends.
Well, Countess, that should do it until the next first of the month.
Very well, Herr Schoenfeld.
I think, in summation, I may say, that the situation has not deteriorated. In fact, it is fractionally improved. There's no reason why you shouldn't continue to keep up this establishment and live as you have been living. Provided, of course, that common caution is exercised.
Common and caution, Herr Schoenfeld, are two words which never have been and I hope never will be applied to me.
Unhappily, times change, Countess. We must all try to learn to adapt.
Like rats and house sparrows? You don't find eagles adapting. Even in captivity, they just sit in their cages and glare. Good day, Herr Schoenfeld. I'm sure you are eager to scurry back to the city and adapt.
Countess.
Can those be wild strawberries?
I found them in the market. I thought you might like some now.
Oh, splendid. You are no fool, are you? You remember things.
I try to, madam. Will Herr Schoenfeld be staying for lunch?
He certainly will not. And it's just as well, since he'd scream with horror at the sight of these. If Herr Schoenfeld had his way, we'd all be living off boiled potatoes. And darning our own cotton stockings. Horrible plastic man. He probably sprung up like a mushroom in some ghastly suburb and gloats to see how the mighty are fallen. Let us hope for your sake, Conrad, that you have never seen better days. Grisly phantoms clanking around, moaning, nevermore, nevermore. Delicious. Is that all there is?
Oh, no, madam. Shall I bring some more?
No. On second thoughts, we'd better save them for lunch. Poverty, poverty, poverty. What an improbable end to it all. It's strange. Some days are far worse than others. Usually one plods along, gets up, goes to bed, gets up, goes to bed, finding it all quite endurable. Then suddenly, trick of sunlight or sound. Just some silly little sound like a bee in a hollyhock. And one is back. Back at the villa at Antibes. Or at Schönbrunn. At a garden party for the sad little King of Italy. Or worst of all, back galloping down the forest rides in Hungary with the hounds belling like mad, and perhaps a glimpse of the stag way off in the distance, bounding over a fallen beech tree. The villa, gone. The house in Paris, gone. The estates in Hungary and Bohemia, all of them rest homes now for the heroic factory workers of the People's Republic. Unending lawsuits, all of them doomed to fail. It killed my husband. The Herr Schoenfelds killed him. And the communists killed him. And all the puffed up little busybodies, changing the order of things and starting all over again. So here I am, as anachronistic as a dinosaur. A descendant of Attila the Hun, wallowing in self-pity like the primeval ooze.
You're still in Ornstein, and there's still the castle.
You think that isn't the cruelest ghost of all? I was married from Castle Ornstein. 3,000 guests. The Duke of Gloucester, Prince Umberto, even poor old Mary of Romania with her orange hair and a palm of violets. I'll tell you something. Whenever I walk on that side of the house, I never let myself even glance at the castle.
Perhaps one day you'll open it again.
My poor Conrad. So you're just a little servant like the others after all, with your shoddy little servant's dream of one day the ship will come in.
All it needs is money.
And money grows on money trees. And when the moon is full, you throw an orange rind over your left shoulder.
There's the Pleshkas.
The Pleshkas?
From the city.
Oh, that terrible couple. There is also my poor Conrad. The entail.
Cook tells me you haven't given a party in years. But in the old days, everyone used to fight for invitations. All the local nobility, everybody. In the butcher's this morning, they were talking about the Pleshkas. They're very snobbish, apparently, and they have a daughter. She's young and quite attractive.
Conrad.
As they were talking, it passed through my mind that young Helmut's reaching an age when he should be looking around.
You're absolutely shameless, aren't you?
Sometimes an outsider sees things more clearly. It would be a gamble, of course. One party. Just one big party.
Shameless, outrageous, and utterly immoral. Is she really attractive?
So they say.
Fine-looking bunch of women.
Just like the old days.
There's always been a mother superior in
No, it was a nephew who inherited.
Darling, was so brave at the end. Darling, everyone knew long before she went to the hospital.
But Puppy got it from Paula, and Paula got it from Gertrude, and so it just got to be true.
He was only a paper count, anyway.
Can you imagine? The daughter insisted on an apartment of her own in the city. And she's only 20.
Father never let us near the Bodenheims. We never even bowed on the street.
Such display, my dear. One hopes you are not overextending yourself.
Silly old bitch.
So naughty. Didn't you hear? Poor Putsy von Hansi had to marry an American.
I say it, and my father said it before me, and what was good enough for my father...
Nobody I know goes to Bad Gastein anymore.
How long it's been? Far, far too long.
You won't remember me. It's been years and years. Lisa von Nesselbach.
Darling, Hester, there is wither. We continue to bloom.
General Valentine.
Hertha, my dear, for you the clock stands still. Good God, who are they?
Excuse me, General. Let me look at the daughter. Not bad at all. And those diamonds. If I was Helmut, I would leap on her like a goat. Frau Pleschke? Herr Pleschke, what a pleasure.
Countess, we are honored.
So charming of you to invite us.
Let me introduce our little daughter, Anneliese.
Delectable, quite delectable. This is mine. Helmut, here, darling. My little boy, who alas has suddenly become a man. Helmut, you must meet the Fleschkes.
Why, hello, young man.
Helmut, darling, you must take the adorable Fräulein Fleschke down to the fountains this very minute and show her the dolphins. Everybody finds the dolphins most amusing. Oh, there's Princess Palomir. You know her, of course?
I don't believe we've met.
Then I shall introduce you this instant. A dear old soul. You'll find her most stimulating. Amelie, dear, these are the Fleschkes from the city. Be nice to them. Stephanie, darling.
Your Highness.
I believe we met a cousin of yours at St. Moritz. We were staying with the Gilberts, the American oil people at Gstaad.
Young woman, I hate smoke in my face.
Can I get you a drink, madam? Something to eat?
Oh, it's you, driver. So you're working for the Countess now.
What a wonderful party.
I think it's so gallant of the poor Countess to struggle on against all odds. This is one of the family properties, I suppose.
Yes, madam. Perhaps you would like a little tour of the premises.
Why not? Who can resist snooping?
This, of course, is the dining room. The paintings, unhappily, had to be sold.
How sad. And to think, if only she could dispose of the castle, all her problems would be solved. I'll never forgive you for raising our hopes.
I'm sorry, madam. I didn't know about the entail.
To think of that gorgeous castle just standing there, rotting away.
It's particularly sad for young Helmut, madam. It was always his mother's dream that he should open it up again and live there with his wife.
He's married?
Oh, no, madam. Not yet. But I'm sure that very soon he'll come upon some suitable young lady. And now, let me take you back to the party. The Countess will be wanting to introduce you to her other guests.
The boy isn't married.
I was just saying to the children, there are so few young people around this year, and we old fogies must bore them to tears. They must positively cling to each other. Why don't you come over tomorrow morning? There's the lake, or if you feel more enterprising, a picnic.
How pleasant. I know Annalisa will just adore that.
Well, then it's settled. Helmut, darling, do something nice with this sweet young girl.
Dear Countess, it was divine, just too divine.
Goodbye.
Julitka.
Did you like him?
Like who? The son?
Marry him. He's nothing, as harmless as a kitten. It would get you out from under your parents. You'd be your own mistress, free as the air. And I would always be there at the castle.
You arranged this?
You asked me to make it all right for us, didn't you? When will a chance like this come again?
Lisa, your mother is waiting.
I found it in the garden on one of the tables, Fräulein.
She wants me to marry that girl.
You think so?
Of course. Why do you suppose she suddenly gave a party? She wants their money to open the castle again. It's disgusting. Pick any girl who's rich enough, and I'm supposed to be the breadwinner.
You'll have to marry one day, won't you? She didn't seem so bad to me. And she'd be so flattered at becoming a countess, you'd have her eating out of your hand. No trouble at all.
Plotting again, I see, oh brother.
What a
gorgeous butler suit. Such a sexy fit. It ought to be, judging from how much it cost. I saw the bill on Mother's desk. Oh, by the way, she wants you in the dining room. Hurry, because she's pacing.
Think about it. Just think about it. We could do a lot worse.
You're saying that it would make no difference for us?
Why should it?
It went all right?
I think so.
At least it's a beginning.
It's a beginning.
What a day. What a day of revelation. Did you see them? The Palomirs, the Van Hissingens. For centuries, ladies in waiting to the Empress, ambassadors to the courts of Europe and Asia, and look at them now. Still clicking their ancient heels, still holding up their arthritic knuckles to be kissed, waving their pedigrees around like tattered old flags, as if pedigrees meant anything anymore, unless, of course, you happen to be a Cocker Spaniel. The moths, Conrad, the moths have got at them. Not just their uniforms, but their souls. There is nothing left, nothing but their pathetic delusion that they are still the cream of the earth. I looked and I saw myself. I saw my world, my husband's world, as it is, not as it seemed to me in my muddled, ridiculous nostalgia. And that is what they have become. And that's what my husband would have become. Just another Reinhard von Altenheim with nothing left of his pride but his corset. What a self-deluding idiot I have been, mourning all these years for a world that lost its nerve. And a man whose manhood was only his positions, only the estates that were his by mere accident of birth. I have never told this to anyone. I've hardly let myself remember it. But as the things of this world slowly slipped away from us, I saw him crumbling before my eyes. And on the day when the last of the lawsuits went against us, he cried in my arms. Heinrich Graf von Ornstein, Mark Graf von Pulitz and Schinnerhorn cried in my arms like a baby, afraid of the dark. Umberto, a ghost. Mario of Romania, a ghost. Heinrich Graf von Ornstein. Only a drink, a tremendous drink. Straight. And pour yourself one too. You have earned it. To money. Without money, there is nothing. See that Helmut marries that girl.
Liebe Leute, wir haben heute ein kleines Rendezvous. Vielleicht sogar beim heutigen dazu. Sein Herzenswunsch war immer schon eine Blonde muss es sein, die führt dann zum heutigen zum Wein. Und wenn es sie küsst am Abend, da schau ich sie ganz zärtlich an. Die Musik spielt ganz leicht dazu. Wir stoßen an auf Du und Du. Ihr lieben Leute, wir fühlen zwar, so glücklich wie wir sein. Die glücklichsten beim heutigen Wein.
It does seem a little unromantic, but dear Herr Schoenfeld is so right. One must think of every exigency. Now, all the dowry thing has been done, hasn't it? Yes. Excellent. Then let me see if I've got it all straight. I leave everything in my will to Helmut. You leave everything to Anneliese, and she leaves everything to Helmut. And Helmut, oh dear me, the head spins. But if Herr Schoenfeld says it's necessary, there is no need for the slightest tremor of anxiety. There. And now, dear Herr Pleschke. Oh, what charming handwriting, and so forceful. Now let us rise above all these sordid preliminaries and drink a toast to the bride and groom to be. Ah, Conrad, what an excellent idea. Dear friends, this is a day of great joy to me, and I want to share it with you. My only and cherished son, your own Helmut, has found the girl of his dreams, the sweet and charming girl who has promised to become his bride, Annalisa Pleschke. After the wedding, both myself and the dear parents of the bride have decided that the castle shall be opened again. Thank you. Thank you, dear people. How I wish that all of you could come to the wedding. But alas, as is the time-honored custom, the ceremony will take place in the bride's home in the city. And now, as a symbolic gesture, to cast off the old and usher in the new.
Evil beasts. Oh, me and the dogs, we are old friends. Poor Rudolph used to bring them to the Weiße Hirsch all the time. That's where I work.
It's terrible. Just terrible I can't come with you.
I'm sorry, Bobby, darling, but after all, it is just family.
But I always thought I was family.
How on earth did I put up with that depressing woman for so long? Apathy, that's what it was, sheer apathy. How different things are now, dear Conrad. A new life begins, and it is all due to you. I stagger to think what I would have done without you.
I'm flattered, madam.
Oh, my dear Conrad, when you're going to drop this ridiculous madam thing, you're not a servant anymore. You never really were one. In fact, what are you? For the time being, I suppose, that must remain an enigma.
No, that's all wrong. Harriet sits there. I'm sitting there. Albrecht there, the children there, and you here.
You are ready for the train to start, Countess?
Oh, yes, of course, Herr Kraus. You have been so patient. Don't forget to go up to the castle every day and galvanize those workmen. Goodbye.
Countess.
And Carl, you are here to meet us too. Splendid. A great success. You can't imagine how deadly the Pleshke relatives were, but that's to be expected. Frau Pleshke? I can't bring myself to call her Christy. Frau Pleshke, dear.
I've got to talk to you.
It's all the time in the world now.
No, at once. The moment.
Annalisa, dear. The logistics are all arranged. You are to go in the car with your parents and Carl. And Lottie, Helmut, you come along with us. In, children.
I'll go in front.
Get me out of it. On the first night, it was revolting, humiliating for me and for her too. She finally broke down and told me it was her parents who forced her into it. She's in love with someone else. She wouldn't say who, but it's him she wants, and it's impossible. It's going to drive us both crazy. There has got to be an annulment.
When the Pleshkes have already spent a fortune on the castle.
To hell with the Pleshkes! You thought I should go through with it. I know you. You thought it would be best for everyone. But who could have told that just by looking at me, she could make me feel? My God, when we got into that god-awful hotel room. Well, you've got to do something about it, or I'll split it wide open.
Hold it.
I will, I swear it. Now, that would look wonderful for Mother, wouldn't it? Having all Ornstein know she sold her son to some stinking...
For God's sake, hold it!
Oh, Hertha, dear. We can't wait to see how things are coming along at the castle. We've just got to run up there this minute.
Oh, but of course. Conrad will take you.
Where are you going?
I don't feel very well. A headache. I think...
Nonsense, you know you're dying to see the castle.
It's just that I don't feel...
Annalisa, you hurt your mother.
All right, in a moment. I'll just get something for my head.
Would you excuse me for a moment, sir?
Right, but hurry that girl up.
Yes. Please, there's no time now. They're waiting for me to drive into the car.
Annalisa!
Listen. Just listen. Everything's all right. There's no problem, because you both feel the same way. You don't even have to sleep in the same room. All it needs is keeping up a front. Is that so difficult? I'll always be here.
Annalisa! Annalisa!
just long to see the music room. It must be ready by now.
It had better be at the rate that decorator charges.
But he's really the only one. Everyone in the city just died with envy when I told them we've got her stumpfig.
Just so long as you're satisfied.
Sweet thing. He really is rather a sweet old thing.
I won't! They're monsters! Perverts! Stop the car! Monsters! Lying to me! Deceiving me! For the money! The money for them! Oh, take me away! Take me away!
What is this? Tell me!
Not so fast! Not so fast! Not so fast! Take me away! Oh, please! Take me away!
Stop this car! Do you hear me? I'll have you thrown into jail for the rest of your life!
Mein Herz schlägt voller Sehnsucht. Ich weiß ja, dass heute noch was passiert, doch was auch geschehen war. Und ich bin bereit, warte auf die Zeit, auf die Stunde der Seligkeit. Die lieben Leute, die fühlen es toll, so glücklich wir sein, die glücklichsten beim heutigen Morgen. Oh, hier, oh,
You'll be up soon.
Yes.
Conrad, is that you? Something perfectly stupid has happened. I just been down to take off my slippers and my bag. It's a judgment on me, I'm sure, for casting poor Bobby into outer darkness. At least she understood the sacrilege.
Would you like me to see if I can help, madam?
Oh, do you know how? Oh, what a foolish question. I should know by now that you know how to do everything perfectly.
Can you, turn over?
I don't know whether I try. Oh, a man's hands. I'd forgotten how they felt. So powerful, so reassuring. 10 years, just think of it. 10 years without the touch of a man's hands. Unless, of course, you could count Bobby.
That's exquisite. Divine. Oh, yes, a little higher up. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's it. Oh.
A cure. A miraculous cure. I must dedicate this bed as a shrine to St. Conrad of the Healing Hands. Well, we seem to be here, don't we? Do you remember at the station when we were leaving for the city? I said, "Who are you?" I know now. You are the new man, the new force that's come into the world. A new world, a savage world. The world of Attila the Hun come again. My ancestors knew which way the wind was blowing then. I can just see them. The women, my women. The royal tents all around them burning, the sabers flashing as the invaders slit their noble husbands' throats. And what did they do? They looked around for the strongest, roughest warrior who wielded the swiftest sword. And they jumped on the back of his horse. And so, invader, from wherever you are, doesn't the next step seem inevitable? Good morning.
Good morning.
You must wear that always. Let me look at you. Let me touch you in the cold light of dawn. Very satisfactory.
I had better get out of here.
Oh, must you go?
They'll all be waking up soon.
I suppose you're right. And children are so prudish about their mothers, aren't they?
Prowling around so early in the morning, Conrad, dear?
I'm always up early.
How virtuous. Here, have some glorious pre-breakfast chocolate cake. You don't have to worry with that sexy figure. Oh, well, I suppose I should be resigned. There must be worse fates than being pleasingly plump. I read somewhere that Salome was pleasingly plump. Da, 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 da,
Clear up all that stuff when you finish. Cook doesn't like coming down to a messy kitchen.
Ah, me. Another disastrous sexual failure. Quickly, Kunduz, come on. Lovely, yummy cake.
No, thank you. But please tell Cook that Mr. Conrad found his omelette delicious.
Yes, madam.
Don't you feel this is the perfect moment? Lottie, Helmut, come here. I hope this is going to be a pleasant surprise. Pleasant is the operative word. Your new father-to-be.
Is that all? The dogs and I saw that coming days ago. Dearest Mama, you're the most fortunate of women. And we, oh brother, are the most fortunate of offspring. Who else in Ornstein can boast of so sexy a stepfather?
I think it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. God damn it, I left my watch down by the lake.
What was all that about?
I'll see.
I was planning on pink for the bridesmaids, darling, but you really do discourage me a little.
She asked me. Last night she asked me to marry her. Well, what was I to do? Say no? If I had, do you imagine I could have stayed here? I would have had to take the first train out of Ornstein. I know how you feel. How do you think I'm feeling? I don't know. I just don't know. If you want it the other way, I'll break it off right now. I'll get the hell out of here. Maybe that would be better for you anyway.
You can sleep with anyone, can't you?
If I have to. But I have my preferences.
I'm not in the least surprised. The blood was always poor. Her grandmother persistently debauched her stable boys.
Beim heiligen Mann. Oh,
Princess Familia, dearest Hertha, my most heartfelt congratulations. Hypocritical old cow. She's shocked out of her hide, but she hasn't got the guts to say so. She's scared stiff she won't be invited to the castle. They're all the same. Bedtime, everybody. We must all look our most ravishing for the great event tomorrow.
Good night, Mother.
Oh, no, darling. Come and kiss me good night at my door. I'm just filled with sentiment tonight. Really, darling, those look like the claws of some ancient vampire bat. Oh, well, Christian charity. That is the watchword tonight.
Don't forget to turn out the lights.
Of course not, dear Conrad. Farewell, farewell until we meet again. In thunder, lightning, or in rain. No, not you. This isn't suitable for doggy eyes.
Haven't you learned to knock?
Pretty. Though I read somewhere that all the smartest bridegrooms are wearing midnight blue this year.
What do you want?
I wonder why you've gone on sleeping in this terrible room. If I'd been you, I'd have stayed on downstairs with Mother. Her bed's far more civilized. But I suppose it's the proprieties. There's something I thought you might like to know, dear Conrad. This morning I wrote a memorandum. I know it by heart, but it's rather long, so I think a praise you should do. Lovely legs, by the way. Father's, as I remember, were rather skinny. To begin with, there's the waitress from the Weisse Hirsch, close friend of mine these days. She saw you walking Rudolph up to the railroad tracks the night he was killed. She also saw you riding Annalise around on the back of your bicycle. That was when you were tricking her into the wedding, wasn't it? And then, of course, the dogs and I were spying when Annalise broke in on you and Helmut. There's lots more, of course, but that should give the general idea. Homicide for Rudolph, something or other for Annalise, sodomy with a minor for Helmut. And of course, poor Herr Pleschke, poor Frau Pleschke, poor Annalise. 3 more homicides. I wrote the memorandum this morning. I wanted to seal it with my own blood, but I settled for sealing wax. I put it in another envelope, and I sent it to dear Herr Schoenfeld, and on it I wrote, to be opened only in the event of my demise. Poor Conrad. What a lot of hard work for nothing. Oh, footman. Shine my shoe. Shine my shoe.
What are you going to do?
I'll have to think about it, won't I? Go to the police, I suppose. That's what you're meant to do. Isn't it?
I'm thrilled to the core. Hannah is thrilled to the core. We are all thrilled to the core.
A flower, a walking flower. My son, you may kiss the bride.
Poor mother. Poor Helmut.